Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Watery Cat, and in today's video I have a brand new video. And it is that time once again. Every time a new season comes out, I make a commentary on my thoughts on the changes, etc. I've been doing it since season 5, and I'll probably continue to do it every season that is going to come out. But right off the bat, let's talk about the launch. Okay, the launch was successful. There was like no bugs other than the audio cutting out half the time, which they recently fixed in a tiny 1 megabyte update like a week and a half ago. The footstep audio still sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. And Olympus is amazing. I don't know if it's better than World's Edge, but it's definitely better than King's Canyon. I absolutely hate that map. I'm so glad it's gone for at least, I don't know how long in the season, but it's gone right now at the time I'm making this video. My favorite location is Estates. Like, it's beautiful. The main building there is literally the streamer building of Olympus. In my opinion, it's great. Every time I land there, most of the time, I survive. I just love the map. The only locations that I really just don't like are probably Elysium, because it's so I don't know, it's secluded. The only way to get out and in there is with zip lines, and I don't really like zip lines. That's a pretty bad reason, but I just don't like Elysium. That was actually the first location I landed at too, which is pretty funny. But Olympus, amazing. Now let's talk about the other main thing of every season, and that is the Battle Pass. Now, this Battle Pass, it was already my favorite to begin with. Once I saw the R9 skin as a tier 100 and 110 skin, I'm like, oh, I'm totally gonna buy this Battle Pass. But if you've been watching my most recent videos, you'll know that I have not been playing on my main account for a very long time. And no, it's not because I want to play on my secondary account. I literally cannot play on my main account, sadly. I don't know if I'll ever get it back, but I'm hoping I get it back, so that's the only reason I haven't spent money on this account to buy this Battle Pass. It's kind of saddening, depressing, because I really wanted the R9 skin, but it is what it is. Other than the fact that at the beginning, the Battle Pass, literally, it was barely even possible to get to level 2. Then they changed it, and then it was possible to get to level 5, and then they made the challenges Season 6 ones. I don't even remember what they did a week and a half ago. And now it's basically the same as last season, just with a different system. So the Battle Pass is really good, but sadly I can't grind it out unless I get my account back, and I literally play 8 hours a day grinding the game. The legend skins are pretty good. I don't even remember half of them, but I do remember that legendary Wraith skin, which it's okay, but to be honest, I think I would prefer it on Loba, and I'm obviously going to say that too, since Loba is my favorite character in the game to play. But honestly, I saw this post on Reddit where they transferred the outfit on Wraith onto Loba, and it looks so much better. The boots, the suits, just the everything. And that, the outfit is called, fancy, high class or something like that. Loba, literally, that's the definition of Loba. But I mean, Respawn can do whatever they want. There's so many Wraith skins, since Wraith has literally been the highest picked legend ever since the launch of the game. But that's just EA. They're always seeking ways to get as much money as possible, but it is what it is. Now let's talk about the weapon skins. I don't even remember half of them other than the R9, and the tier 1 skin is a legendary Prowler skin, which is honestly really good. I can't get it, obviously, sadly, as I've already said, but it looks good. There's also tier 1, the 3 rare skins that they always have at the beginning of the Battle Pass. I mean, they're whatever. They're just basic rare skins with the teal color scheme of the season, and that's that, man. Now we're gonna talk about Horizon, which is the new legend of the season. And Horizon, man, Horizon is really good, dude. She's literally been the only legend that hasn't needed a buff in so long. Watson is the other legend, but Watson is literally so boring to play, in my opinion. If you play her in pubs, I actually have respect for you. I'd rather play Fortnite. Actually, no, I wouldn't rather play Fortnite than play Watson in pubs. But playing Watson in pubs, I'd probably only play the game for, an hour a day? Because she's literally so defensive. Caustic's also defensive, but with Caustic, you can actually be offensive with his gas, if that makes sense. we're getting off topic though. Horizon's passive, I mean, it's pretty good. It's definitely, obviously not the best passive, but it's really satisfying if you drop off a high height and you just get that noise, the blue effect on your screen, and you can just slide right as you drop. It's a decent passive, and I mean, the air control, it's not that useful whatsoever, but it's just nice to have. Now, the tactical is literally the thing that carries Horizon. Horizon's black hole is alright, but the tactical, in my opinion, is better. Her tactical, literally, like, it makes an Octane jump pad look like trash. It has a 15-second cooldown. You can go so high, and you can go really high. Like, the grow towers, you can go as high as them, and you can really easily move on the Horizon Tactical. And if I'm not wrong, you have 100% accuracy, which you do on the jump pad. But, like, on the Horizon Tactical, like, you go 10 times faster than you do on the 1 kilometer speed jump pad. It's crazy. You have so much control. You can't get too much distance with Horizon's Tactical, but that vertical mobility that you have just absolutely outweighs the jump pad, in my opinion, which is already one of, if not the worst alt, unless I'm forgetting another alt. But Horizon, amazing. I love her. I've played her a decent amount, but I still prefer Loba, because Loba, I don't know how long she'll be my favorite, but she just is. I absolutely love her tactical, even though it's actually really weak. I just love it for some reason. Don't ask why. But now we can talk about the legend and weapon changes of the season. Now, first of all, let's begin with my least favorite change, and I'm not complaining about it because this gun was way too OP, and that is the Prowler. The Burst Prowler, man, that thing was crazy. Like, Burst Prowler and R9 is such an insane combo. Like, I love it. R9 for range, Prowler for close range. I used to use that all the time in Season 6. I thought it was underrated. I thought it was better than Auto after the change they did to it in Season 6, I think. It's crazy, but now it's in the care package, sadly, which is fine with me. You know, I'm always down for change, especially if the gun was way too OP, and the Prowler Burst was definitely way too OP, and they also looked at their data. You know, they were correct with their data, and they're like, oh, the community wants the R9 back, and the Prowler Burst is way too OP, so instead of nerfing it, let's put it in the care package, it was a good change. It's a good change. It's fine with me, even though the Prowler is my favorite gun of all time, but it is what it is. Now let's talk about the only vehicle in Apex, and that is the Trident. Now, the Trident is a little buggy. I don't know if they've fixed the bugs with it, but like the one where you can go across half the map with an Octane jump pad and a supply bin. But it's crazy. I love it. Instead of it taking the vehicle taking damage, the damage splits between all the characters, which I think is actually really good. I think other BR games that add vehicles should learn from Apex. I think that's a lot better than actually damaging the vehicle, even though it kind of doesn't make sense at the same time. Because the only reason the Trident is like that, because it's like the futuristic vehicle and Olympus or whatever, high tech. I don't know, something like that. I'm pretty sure there's actually a reasoning for it other than for the vehicle to be balanced. But I love it. All the ramps around the map for the Trident, they're so much fun. Unless you don't make it to the end of it and you fall off the map and you lose your Trident. But at least you get to redeploy. Trident, it's amazing. I love the way it looks. I love how you can put gas traps, a turret, and a bubble on it. It's just great. And putting a turret on it isn't even OP because, one, the turret already is pretty sucky with that, like, what is it, 180 view instead of 360, and it's really hard to control. Even though I've never tried it, that's what I've heard from a lot of people over on the social medias. But now we can talk about the weapon and actual legend changes. I've said that already, I'm pretty sure, but now we're actually going to do it. Let's begin with the Hemlock change. So for the Hemlock nerf, they increased the horizontal recoil of the first 3 shots slightly to the right. First burst when in burst mode, and I assume the first 3 shots in single fire mode. There's 4 changes, and 3/4 of them are recoil changes, and one of them, surprisingly, isn't the fire rate nerf, which I think it needed the most. But there's a bunch more recoil changes, like reducing recoil multiplier in single fire mode to help compensate for additional recoil in pattern. Recoil should mostly be increased in burst mode. A bunch of recoil changes for the Hemlock, no fire rate, but I have been kind of struggling at like 150 meters now with the Hemlock, which is pretty good, but according to Respawn's data, I guess they didn't need to nerf the fire rate. They reduced the headshot multiplier too, so now if they don't have a helmet, the headshot does 39 damage from 44, which is probably the best change. Actually, probably, I don't know which change is the best, to be honest, but the Hemlock got nerfed, so that's good. Now, the Havoc in Season 6, I remember I used it for a full game once, and I'm pretty sure I costed by doing that because the recoil in Season 6 for the Havoc was crazy. Like, it was really hard to control, in my opinion, and now they changed it, and I've tried it. It's a lot easier to control. Havoc's a pretty fun gun. Legendary Havoc off rip, in my opinion, is amazing. And yeah, now my favorite change of the season, actually, the L-Star. Now, the L-Star literally has a new recoil pattern, which, in my opinion, is a lot easier to control. The venting time after letting go of the trigger has been reduced from 0.4 seconds to 0.15. So now, once you overheat, the cooldown is a lot shorter. So if you use feathering, it's basically impossible to ever have a cooldown. And they also did a change to compensate with feathering that makes it a lot better. So now it will reduce heat faster when not overheated from 1.15 seconds from 99.99% to 0% charge if not overheated. Still 2.45 seconds if overheated, which that doesn't really help with feathering, but it kind of does. So, I mean, that's a good change. I've been using the L-Star a bit more. I said at the beginning of the season I would use it, but to be honest, bro, maybe I will later on, but I'm just too addicted to using the R9. I kind of did miss it when it was in the care package, but I didn't really at the same time. But we're going off topic. Sentinel, when it's charged, it's basically a Kraber, a mini Kraber. It does 70 to 88 from 70 damage, and now it does 88 in not even disruptors. It's just amped damage now. It doesn't do it only for shields. So the Sentinel, if you have like 16 cells and you have a Sentinel and you can hit your shots, you're gonna be a god. Now, so the triple take, they reduced the fire rate to what it was before, back when they changed it to like 1.45 or whatever. So now it's back to what it was before, other than the mag changes they did to it. I mean, whatever. I haven't been using the triple take. I don't feel a need to use it. New hop up. I haven't really used it too much, but from what I've seen, it's pretty trash, to be honest. Like, on the wingman at least, compared to a Scully. I don't know why you would want a quick draw. I've used the quick draw once, and it didn't do that much. You know, you can ADS faster, swap weapons faster, and you can also the gun becomes quicker to raise and lower. Tech takes less time to ADS and has reduced hip fire spread. And when I read that in the patch notes before the season came out, I literally thought that like it would be more actually accurate, but I was wrong. The crosshair just becomes smaller, but it is what it is. They upped the Evo armor requirements by quite a bit, which is a good change. It requires pushing, so it requires more scale. I'm not going to read the numbers out because I don't want to. And that is that, man, I'm pretty sure. Not too many weapon changes this season, other than the R9, you know, coming out of the supply drop. It's still the same old R9 that's been the same since Season 5 before it was in the care package. So that's that. Now let's talk about the legend changes. Now, let's talk about the legend meta. Let's quickly speed run through it. Bangalore, reduced time it takes for explosion from 8 seconds to 6 seconds on her ult. It's a lot better now. I still think, like, I never thought it was bad before. To be honest, everyone always compares it to Gibby's ult, as in, like, offensive tool, but I think it's supposed to be a repositioning tool, so you can heal up, res your teammates, so that people don't push. And now, if you're stuck in a Bangalore ult, you might be dead. Depends on if you have escape abilities. Caustic, they made it so that you can see through his gas more clearly, but it does a lot more damage. So I don't know how I feel about this change. I thought it was good at first, but to be honest, I don't even think the vision thing matters that much. I think what's really bad about the Caustic gas is how slow it makes you. Getting slowed in this game is literally so annoying. It's a complete disadvantage, like in every single way. Being slowed literally gives you nothing at all except for death, unless the player is new and trash. So it does 6 to 12 ticks of damage from 4 to 10. I think it should be 4 to 10 still, and keep that vision thing the same, but Respawn can do whatever they want, you know, their data doesn't suggest that. Mirage, his decoys now have 45 health, whatever. I mean, honestly, I don't know, I've barely come across any mirages, and if I have the 45 HP thing, it isn't really that good. It's okay, I guess. Octane, he heals a lot faster now with his passive. His passive is actually pretty good now. You probably don't even need to carry syringes, to be honest, with Octane, which is pretty good. A spot for nades, maybe more ammo. But Octane, in my opinion, is still probably the worst character competitive-wise, or like team-based. Watson, I mean, her fence does 15 damage instead of 10. I mean, whatever. That's not that big of a deal. I still think her gen needs to last like 120 seconds instead of 90, but it is what it is. Now, Loba, my main, her black market ammo does not take a slot, which, in my opinion, is actually a really good change. Literally, by far the best Loba change they've done. I hope they don't nerf it, because their data suggests that it's too strong. But it's amazing, especially when her alt starts at 50% off rip. You can get so much ammo for third parties, and with the 2 slots, I still think it needs to be 3 slots, and you can grab banners. And her tactical, I mean, I don't know why they're taking, I mean, her tactical probably takes the most, like, time to do changes to it, but they really need to do changes to the tactical if they want Loba to be even, like, the top 5 legends. I don't even know where I would rank Loba right now. Let me know if you guys actually want to see a tier list, because I might do one. Rampart, Sheila takes a lot quicker to fully spin up. I mean, the 180 view thing, they gotta change it to 360, man. 180 is way too low. Like, you half the time you'll place the turret, and by the time it's placed, they will be out of your sight, and you can't turn fully, which sucks. Her wall now takes 3 seconds to place instead of 4. I mean, whatever. I mean, I think the wall is fine, to be honest. Like, the top Rampart players, I actually think that they play with Rampart's walls really well. But she's never going to be top tier unless they do something to her passive, man. Her passive has to be, like, reworked or something, because LMGs, currently as they are sadly not in the meta. And I don't know if they ever will unless they buff the Spitfire like it was in Season 0. Which sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. Pathfinder made his hitbox bigger, but the grapple is not very, but really good now. It's based on distance, and this time it's actually accurate. Before, if you would grapple and you just spam jumped, the cooldown would continue to go up because it was like bugged, saying that, oh, you're still grappling, we gotta make this go up, which was dumb. But they fixed that, and it's really good. So that's really it, man. Other than clubs, clubs are pretty cool. I wish it was like 10,000 people so I could join the club of a streamer or a YouTuber. I don't know how that would work. That would actually probably be undoable unless Apex could somehow do it. I said that crossplay would never come out in Apex, but it did end up coming out. So we just got to see what Apex does. New voice line for the Phoenix kit, whatever. New indicator for the Arcstar, pretty cool, I guess. Honestly, I actually think that's a really underrated change, to be honest, because half the time, if an Arcstar was like, I don't know how to explain it. If an Arcstar sometimes I would say an Arcstar is not going to hit you, but an Arcstar did hit you, and now I don't think that happens anymore with the new indicator. Olympus and World's Edge for ranked, good stuff. Respawn, you listened. They're taking a break from King's Canyon. I hope they make it so, like, on King's Canyon they have Siphon or something like that. That'd be pretty nice, but you never know with Respawn. And that's really it, man. You can craft bats from Replicator. That's a pretty good change as well. Whatever. Voice lines for hollow sprays. That's pretty much it, man. Season 7, my favorite season so far, by far. Really good changes, honestly, overall. And a really good legend after so long that they didn't need buffs or any changes. So that is going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. According to my analytics, 45% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. What are you doing? Just subscribe already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.